Good morning! So we've got a video today on why having fun, and this thing called flow state, which I'll talk about in a second, is the fastest way to learn or teach English. And why the three mistakes, or three of the mistakes that a lot of teachers make. So we're coming back to school now. Everyone's excited about getting back there. So I'm going to do a quick video series for the next few days, and I'm going to go through some of the biggest, most important aspects of how we teach English and get great results, and how you can improve your teaching maybe by incorporating some of these ideas. So as I say, today's is this idea of why having fun is the most effective way of learning. And it's all to do with this thing called a flow state. Now, if you've not heard of that before, you've experienced it. So a flow state is like, for example, when you've had a lesson that's just been the best lesson ever, and time has just gone by and it's 5 minutes and you're like, wow, what happened? It's like, wow, it was so quick, yeah? And we want to try and get that into all our lessons. Now, the term flow state, if you've not heard too much about it, look it up online, you'll see about it. It's by a very famous guy with a very difficult to pronounce name, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who came up with this idea, and it's what a lot of world-class musicians, sports stars, movie producers, even when you're driving, Formula One drivers get into. They get in this thing called flow state. And when you get into flow state, you're having so much fun doing the activity. The reason it helps you learn more is for many different reasons. One of them is it turns down your self-checker. You don't have time to second guess yourself to think, am I doing this right? Am I not doing it right? You just do it, get the reaction, and go for it. It means you can get a lot more practice in, because when you're in this flow state in class, it's not like, oh, no, it's the opposite. It's like, come on, yeah, let's do more. Wow, we finished already? Wow, let's do more. So then kids want to do more in class. They want to come to class. They want to do more homework so they get more practice in, so they get better results. And it's also, I think, it's a passion and objective, because the thing in itself is so rewarding. You know, coming to your English class is just so rewarding that they want to put the effort in and the extra work in, and then let them get through the more difficult things just because it is so much fun. So it's a thing called flow state. Look it up. It's by far the easiest way for you to get great results for your kids. Now, a lot of teachers make these three mistakes when it comes to having fun while learning or trying to using a flow state. And the first mistake a lot of teachers make is they think that having fun means not learning. So some teachers are still very much in the, no, you can't learn by having fun. No. The only way to learn this is by writing out the grammar conjugations 5,000 times by hand in blood on a stone tablet. Unless you do that, that's not real learning. And it's like, yeah, okay, please go back to your Stone Age, please, because that never was the way to learn. It's just that hundreds of years ago, that's the only technology people had, was writing things down. So that's why people did it then. And it didn't work. You know, most people didn't learn by that way. And most people didn't get good marks in school and things. In fact, when you look at flow state, the enemies of flow are apathy, anxiety, and boredom. So if your students are feeling any apathy, why am I doing this? What is the point of this? Oh, this is the most boring thing ever. Or anxiety. The teacher says if I make a mistake on this grammar test, if my T isn't crossed in the right way. Or boredom, like another 500 times writing this out. Oh, God. Then that is the opposite of flow, and that is the opposite of learning. Okay, so flow is learning. No pain, no gain. That is the opposite of learning. If you're into that, go and do bodybuilding or something else. Yeah, but even bodybuilding, you don't get muscles and things by the pain. You've got to have the flow as well. You know, you've got to be pumping it, and even though it's crazy after this, I've got to go and do Insanity. You know, so you do need that there. So having fun is the best way to learn. It's not the opposite. It's the pain and just scratching through things is just the most excruciating way. and it slows you down, you don't get the same results. So 90% of people, they get results by having fun. And even with yourself, you do more of something when you're enjoying it and when you're having fun. If there's things you don't want to do, like maybe doing the dishes, or some people do like that, don't they? Maybe cleaning the house, or maybe doing the washing, or chores like that. You don't want to do them, you put them off, you don't spend long doing them. But something when you get into flow state, for example, I bet a lot of you, maybe not, I don't know, maybe get into flow state on your phones in a bad way because you're just going like that and they're manipulating that way and 5 hours has gone, wah! Yeah? So we have to use that for learning. The idea is to take all these techniques of getting into flow state with low self-feedback and low anxiety and low boredom and things, but applying it to the lessons. And in the lessons, we're doing all these activities that are learning. Because of course, it's not just, playing around on games, whatever. It's you have your learning objectives, and then the games and then the flow state go with the learning objectives, and that's how we get the fantastic results. But you've got to be in this zone. You students, yourself, have got to be in this zone of like, wow, this is the best thing ever. Where did the time go? I want more. That's what it's about. Second mistake that I see a lot of teachers making is they erroneously or mistakenly believe that parents want tedious grammar. So I get a lot of teachers and they say to me, Richard, I'd love to do this. I want to get in a flow state. I want to have fun teaching, but the parents, all they want is grammar. All they want is to see the kids writing out 50,000 times in blood on stone tablets. That's all they want. You don't understand, Richard, in my country. People say it in every country. Yeah? And that's not true either. That's not true at all. Because can you imagine, do your parents of your students, have you ever met a parent? Are they on a night, are they having sleepless nights? Are they thinking to themselves, I really wish my kids could just conjugate verbs. Oh, if they could only conjugate these verbs, my life would have purpose and everything would be perfect. It's like, no parents thinking of that at all. Yeah. When learners are talking about learning a language, what they want to learn is they want to learn to speak the language. If they're in a coffee shop with their friends, they don't just say, I really wish I could learn the third conditional. The third conditional would make my life so much. I wish there was a fourth. Oh, if only there was a fourth conditional in English. It's like, no, they're saying, Ego shabritai. I want to learn English. It'd be cool if I could learn. I wish I could speak English. Yeah? That's what learners want. And then all parents want is for their kids to get the best possible marks on the exams. That's what the parents want. That's what keeps them up late at night. Now, it may be because the parents went through a boring, horrible school system where they were taught that, boring grammar is the way to learn English, that they may be saying that to you, but that's not what they really want. Our job is to dig in and find out what the parents really want, and they want fluent kids who get awesome marks on the exams. And the best way to do that is by getting in this flow state in class. And believe me, once the parents see the results, they won't care. They'll actually love you for it, because if their kids are coming out of English class with huge smiles saying, that was brilliant, I want to go back again. Can we do 2 hours, 4 hours this week? Then they're going to go, wow. And then they see them speaking, they see them getting great marks. They're going to love you for it. And that's why how the best schools work, yeah? Because everybody wants to go there. They want to go there because the kids are getting into this flow state. And adults as well. We talked before with, the flow research, a lot of that's done on adults, with professional musicians, when you're playing a violin solo, you get into the zone, as musicians call it, yeah? And they just everything else falls away, no distractions, you're focused on this one thing, and that's what lets you put the hours of practice in, gives you the passion, which means doing it anyway, and getting through things. So it works for adults as well. And then the other mistake that a lot of teachers make, so the first one is, they think that having fun means not learning, which is not true, we've seen. They think that parents want grammar, which is not true, we've just seen that. And then a lot of teachers think that textbooks, it's a mistake, yeah, it's a mistake, don't worry, making mistakes is cool, don't worry about it. They make the mistake that they think that textbooks are the best way to learn. very, very difficult to get into a flow state with textbooks. Mainly because of this idea of apathy. It's like, oh, it's a book, another page of the book, blah, blah. Anxiety, oh, I've got to finish this off. Boredom, it's a flat piece of paper. In this day and age, textbooks don't cut it, the kids who are doing, the Olympic medals, they got the skateboarding, they didn't learn a textbook. They didn't get out a textbook and go, okay, what's my textbook for learning how to do the skateboard? It's like, no. They're into the videos, they're into interaction, they're into learning it by watching and doing it and falling off and learning again. And that's what we have to do, we have to catch up. Now, the thing with textbooks as well is you can't learn pronunciation from textbooks. The guy here was Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. You can't learn the pronunciation of that guy's name from a textbook, it's impossible. Maybe some teachers in Russia, they do the IPA, they call it transcription. In English it's IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet. But then you only get one intonation, and it sounds very boring like this because you always sound like a robot because you are not learning real intonation. You can't get that from a textbook. Similarly with grammar rules, a lot of teachers, if you're trying to teach English through grammar rules and teaching grammar rules from a grammar rule textbook, that's too slow. Because you as a teacher, if you're having to think about grammar rules, or your students are having to think about a grammar rule, that means they've not mastered it. Because they're using the rules as a crutch, and it ends up slowing you down far too much. That's why people love native speaker teachers. It's nothing to do with the pronunciation or anything. You can get that from computers. It's because we can just hear grammar and instantly correct it because we know what's wrong or what's right without having to think about the rules. So if you're still at the rules level, get yourself beyond that as quick as you can. And for kids, you don't even bother doing that. Just learn it by getting into this flow state in class so the kids learn it naturally, intuitively. Intuitively just means you've done something so many times, you know how to do it without thinking about it. That's what intuition means. It's not this weird thing of like, ooh, I've got a funny feeling about this and things like that, which is cool. So when you're doing that, you get into this flow state, and then everything, like the pronunciation and if you're doing it right, the pronunciation and the grammar and everything will be really, really cool with it. Cool. I've got a question there. No, isn't reading as important as listening and watching? Absolutely, yeah. But you read from reading books, yeah. You read for fun. You get into the flow state. The reason that in the 1990s in the West there was a huge problem with kids' literacy, it was terrible, and then suddenly it jumped and kids' literacy stopped becoming a problem anymore. It's because of Harry Potter, because people love the book, getting into the flow state. It's all about in the flow state. But of course, when we're teaching English, we start off with speaking and listening first. When you've mastered speaking and listening, then it's time for reading. So make sure you get the order right there as well. So those are the three mistakes that teachers make. They think that having fun means not learning. We've shown that's not true. They think that parents only want grammar. We've shown that's not true either. They think textbooks are the best way to learn. We've shown that's not true either. Actually, the thing with textbooks is if textbooks were the best way to learn, every single high school student in the world would speak fluent English. Because they all learn from textbooks, and they don't. The way to learn is by getting into this flow state. Now, just to finish off, we do have a few other things that where teachers say, reasons they give why they can't do flow state teaching, why they can't have fun the whole way through the lesson, why they can't do this. So I'll talk about those in a second. Excuse me. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about homework and the difference between quality and non-quality homework. But today, so about this flow state thing. So 3 top reasons why teachers say to me why they can't do this. And number 1 is teachers say, Richard, I love to do it. I've seen when you're teaching, it looks so much fun. The kids love it. You look like you're loving it. It looks great, but I could never do it because I just don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. So number 1, change your mindset on that because we always a little bit of energy. We have to use it in the right way. When I'm not doing, these lives for me are killer because I'm not getting the energy back from you guys. Yeah. When I'm doing a live workshop, the reason we're so full on in the live workshop is because I get it back from everybody. Yeah. So the key with energy is you're not doing this 100%. You're not the Energizer Bunny. You're not going, bah, 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 bah. That's not flow state. That's teacher-centered learning because the teacher is there trying to dynamo power the whole class. And yeah, you do that for 3 hours, you're going to fall over. You do that for 8 hours or 10 hours, No chance. So the key with this way of learning is it's all about the kids getting into flow state. Now, you get into flow state as well. You're loving the lesson. You get into flow state. But it's about the kids mainly because that's what we're doing this for. It's not, hey, teacher ego session. It's kids learning session. So in the beginning, for the first few minutes, you're just lighting the fire, setting the stage, making sure you've got the right materials, the right course. You're teaching English in the right way. You've got the right framework there, the right the right audio, the right music, the right games, the right lesson plans. You make sure you've got that in place. That's beforehand. In the lesson, you've got to start off happy and smiley. You've got to go in there with a good morning, You get so many of these, the boring teachers of the pain, teachers, and they're saying, oh, look at him, he's saying good morning, and who can say good morning? It's not a good morning, and mornings are not good. He's like, dude, get out of the classroom. You got to, in the beginning, just do a little bit of positive energy, just with the good morning. And then from then on, if you've got everything structured, if you've got all the materials, lesson plan, the right curriculum in place, then the kids take over. And as I say, for the kids, the reason flow state works is because there's no distractions. So they don't really care about the teacher. Your job then is just to listen. And when they're playing the games, is to listen and find out what mistakes they're making that they don't know they're making. So then you can add those into the next class, yeah? So you just have to be Genki and energetic in the beginning and, positive and good morning, good afternoon, how you guys doing? Even the pause, Good morning, it's a little pause even. That brings the energy up, yeah? Learn about chi, Genki English, it's chi, it's energy, yeah? And when you learn about it, it's easy. So if you say you don't have the energy, you'll get the energy from teaching with Genki English. Now, if you're teaching Zoom or you're doing a Facebook Live where you can't see people's faces, it's a little bit more difficult. But still then, the material does the teaching for you. I recorded all the voices and all the songs and all the narrations and all the different questions. I do it in a Genki way. So this energy gets put through to the kids so they get into this state of having fun with it, yeah? But in the beginning, you just got to say, good morning. If in a live classroom, you're going to get the energy back 100-fold. Some of the best Genki English teachers they're rather old and, but young at heart, and they're just living it, and they've got so much energy. And where do you get it from? And they get it from the kids. That's where they get it from. So if you don't have the energy, no worries. Get the energy to say good morning, get the right materials in place, off you go. The second one that people say is, will it work for me? Will it work in my country? And usually this is related back to the false beliefs we had before, but we've just shown that, the way English is taught where you are right now, it doesn't really work. Because if it worked, everybody in high school would be speaking fluent English and they wouldn't need you. Because I think most of the people who are on here watching this are now private teachers, yeah? So they wouldn't need us. So the fact that system doesn't work shows that this works for you. When you look at the research on flow, it works worldwide. It's everywhere. It's any musician, whether you're a djembe player or whether you're a sitar player or whether you're playing okoto or whatever it is. If you're a master, if you're into what you're doing, if you're driving or if you're just talking with you get into this flow state everywhere in the world. You will get a tiny percentage of people. Maybe psychopaths don't get into flow state. But I'm sure they're doing the wrong way. But for the vast 99.9% of people on the planet, if you're teaching humans, this works where you are. Let's give it a try. And again with the parents, yeah? Even if you feel that you're making the mistake before saying, the parents want grammar. No, find out what the parents want. Parents want kids to speak fluent English and awesome exam results. And if you can get that to them, you're sorted. There's so many teachers now. The English language situation is always changing, This year, so many teachers have left, so many kids desperate for great teachers. But now China's banned English teaching effectively. And so now there's all these teachers who are online in America, and now they're looking to steal your students. So you've got to make sure you get up to the game. And then the other thing that teachers say about getting into flow state and doing this type of teaching is they say, I don't have the money to learn how to do this. Because obviously, if you want to get all the books and you want to do all the courses and go to university to do this, it's rather expensive. So for us, with Genki English, I try to keep the Genki English programs as inexpensive as possible. And when you look at it, the idea is I want it so if you use Genki English and you do the teacher set, which is a program you need to be able to teach this, that is, I want it to pay for itself straight away. So if you get one new student, the teacher set will pay for itself. You don't need to pay for it in one go. You can pay for it monthly. If you get one new student, we give you a program in there that shows you how to get new students. Just a few. I don't show you how to get thousands or hundreds. Just a few tens of new students. The hundreds and thousands is in the other advanced programs. But with the teacher set, you get my program on how to recruit a few more students, just one new class, and that will then pay for the teacher set. So the excuse is that I don't have any money. It pays for itself. Will it work for me? It works everywhere. Check out the testimonials on the Genki English page. And if I don't have the energy, you just have to have the energy to say good morning, smile, and then lots and lots of listening. So I hope that's helped you today. Let's reframe this. Let's get everybody into a flow state. Let's make it so, ideally, I want to make it so that you finish your lessons on an afternoon or an evening or whatever it is, and you go, wow, I've finished already? Cool. And either you want to do more to help more kids around the world, or you want to chill and relax with your family. We always have this thing, family first. You set your family schedule and you're teaching around that. I want your teaching to be fun. We learned that boredom, anxiety, and apathy is the killer of learning. So we want to make sure that you've got fun, excitement, full of life. That's why we call this Genki. That's what Genki means in Japanese, fun, exciting, and full of life. So let's get a flow state for all of your students. If you've not tried it yet, head over at GenkiEnglish.com. There's a free email course you can get on there. Or if you're ready to start in September with the teacher set, get the teacher set. You're going to love it, and you too can get all your students into flow state. If anyone's got any questions, write them below, and I'll try and answer them. And then hopefully tomorrow, if my internet's good, I'll do a session on homework and what makes the difference between quality and non-quality homework. But for today, let's get into flow. Let's enjoy it. Having fun in the flow state is the very best, easiest way to learn and teach English. Catch you later. Bye-bye.